Well, hello, everybody. I'd like to introduce myself. I am the father of Jim Miller Jr. I've known him for 60 years. He's getting better all the time. This is his new podcast. I hope everybody is listening, and I'm proud to have him as a son, and I know you're going to enjoy it.
This is Joe Riley. The Axeman is unleashed. Welcome. Trying to get comfortable here. Do I look skinny? Zeke, do I look pretty skinny?
That's better.
Do I look better? Welcome to show number 1 of the Dangerous Gym Show. It's going to be a podcast. It's probably going to, it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be all kinds of stuff. Thanks for joining me. The very first one. We have this between two ferns kind of thing going here. Got a plant, some sort of sharp plant. Got a lot of different stuff. If you can see, I have my Dangerous Gym hat. It says the Dangerous Gym Show. Now, one of my kids got me this for Christmas. Feels a little tight on my head. Zeke, does my head look fat, or what do you think?
No, your head looks great.
Good? All right, good. Well, so here we are. It's been a long time to get here to doing this podcast. I'm here at URock Studios in Forest Park, and we own URock 1 in the Green Hill Shopping Center and URock 2 right here in Forest Park. So we're just basically in the front room in our living room of the URock 2, and this is now our podcast studio. So I'm Jim Miller. If you don't know, you probably do know if you've turned this on or you're listening to us, you probably already know that. I'm 60 years old. I've lived in Cincinnati my whole life. I started playing music professionally when I was 14 years old, so I played a lot of shows. So I've spent a lot of my time playing music, but I've also spent a lot of my time living my life outside of music. I got 4 kids. I got a beautiful wife. I've only been married once, which is an absolute miracle. My dad's still alive. My mom's still alive. I got a lot of friends. I play in a working band called Dangerous Jim and the Slims. So, I've been out there. I've lived a full life so far, and I can tell you this is bucket list for me. I had a lot of musical goals. I've achieved a lot of those, and so I always wanted to have my own show. It was a bucket list item. I felt like I could do it. So I don't know. You tell me, am I doing it so far or not? I don't know. Can I have some applause? Am I doing it so far? What do we got? Come on, let's do it. Yeah, I'm doing it so far. It took a long time for us to get to this spot. I felt like, ever see Tom Cruise running? It's the greatest thing. I've been running like Tom Cruise for about 3 months just to try to get this podcast studio up and running. So if you're here and you're listening, thanks for listening. So far, the only people that are viewing this podcast is Zeke back here in the booth. So we have one person so far, Zeke, that's watching and listening to this podcast. So I guess the next thing you're probably wondering is, what are we going to talk about? The first thing that, the first subject matter that comes to my mind as far as, the things we're going to talk about on this is empowerment, right? You out there in the TV or headphone land, you can also come here right to URock Studios, and you can use these same facilities, and you can make your own podcast. If a dummy like me can do it, you can do it. So I want you to know that first and foremost, if you feel like you could do something like this, you can do it right here. Sometime throughout the show, I'll give you some contact information. If you already know me, hell, give me a call and we'll see what happens. But you can do it. And that's been a theme of my life the whole time, is trying to put my mind to stuff that I wanted to accomplish and accomplish it. So I've made it here somehow. I'm not really sure how, but I made it to this place. So empowerment is one of the themes tonight. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Wait, the right hand's not thinking about what the left hand's doing. So empowerment's a theme. It's always going to be that. Because if you don't have confidence in yourself, I can tell you that I do. I have confidence in you and anything that you're thinking about doing. So empowerment's number 1. Number 2, I thought about how we were going to do this, and I don't even know if anyone's going to watch, man. If you watch, that's great. If you don't, it's okay. If you want to watch on the TV, that's fantastic. But I think one of my other goals with this podcast, I'm going to try to deliver an hour. We'll see. And my goal is to deliver 12 podcasts in a year. My other goal would be that you listen to this in your headphones and do something constructive. You know, I mean, we got enough of this bullshit going on, guys. Staring at the phone, staring at the screen. If you don't watch, I don't care. As a matter of fact, I don't even really want you to watch. Get out there. Get me in your headphones. Get on that treadmill. Get in that kayak. Get on that bike. Walk around the park. Do something. And try to be active. You know, I would encourage you to be active in your life and listen to me and do something constructive at the same time. We're going to have constructive themes here on this show. So obviously, if you know me, you've tuned this in. One of the main topics, or one of the topics that we're going to have in the 12 podcasts for this year is going to be music stuff. I know a lot about playing music. If you don't know, I had made 3 albums with my band Leap Skyward. And then I made album with a band called The Slaves with my buddy Jim Cole. Not a very politically correct name. The band was called The Slaves. And then after that, I spent a lot of time playing a lot of gigs for the last 25, 26 years with my band Dangerous Jim and the Slims. We just released our second record. It is called Calamity and Serenity Volume 1. Later, as one of the podcasts, I'll play some music. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. So some of the things that we're going to discuss. Number 1 is music stuff. How to be a good band member. How to be a good band leader. Do's and don'ts for your band. How to write a song. I'm going to take you through a little bit of the development of a song. How you develop it. I'll play you some snippets of some stuff that I'm working on, and together we can see if I ever get to the finish line and finish the song, because this is January and my last podcast is going to be in December. And I can tell you right now that in December, I'm going to have the Dangerous Jim Show Awards. Zeke, we're going to have awards. Can you believe that? It's going to be awards for different people and different things. I haven't decided all the categories yet, but I'm going to give out some awards for different things that I think people are doing cool stuff, you know. And you know, we're just taping this. There's no editing. This is the first time I've ever tried this, so we're winging it right this second. Thank you very much. Thank you. There's a big studio audience here. So, you know, the other thing that we're going to talk about is I'm going to have some people in from the local Cincinnati music scene. I want to talk a little bit about the music, the business of music, and how they handle it, how they communicate with their band members. And also, you know, there's different people are playing different levels of gigs. They're getting different amounts of money, so we'll talk about that. So if you're a local musician, this is something that you should watch. One thing we're not going to talk about, I don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, but it's not going to be these guys are playing here Friday night, these guys are playing here Saturday night, go see them. It's not going to be that kind of show. If you are looking for that type of stuff, you should look at my buddy Scott Hall Around Town Radio. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's on there on every single day. He's got a great set. It's a great dude, great supporter of local music and a buddy of mine. So he'll tell you who's playing out, who's playing in, all that, who's playing where the gigs are. You can listen to him and he'll tell you about that. Also, my friend Sean McGarry has a pretty good show here in Cincinnati, and he does shorter interviews with a lot of local celebrities. He's had my buddy Dave Moody, my buddy Noah Hunt. He's had a lot of different guys on. So you can see that for, you know, shorter. Sean's playing music with the guys. 2 really good local music shows. You can check that out. My plan here is to have different types of guests. Of course, I'm going to have some musical guests, but I'll have some other people that you and I can both learn about together. People that I find interesting that started from nothing and became something, or people that have always been something. So we'll try that. I can call people on my phone during the show. Let's just call. If you gave me your phone number, you're going to regret it, because I'm going to call you, man. So, oh wait, I don't want to call him. Wait, that's not him. Let's not call him. Who should we call? Let's call my friend Scott. Let's call Scott Sloan let's call Scott Sloan and see if he will answer his phone. Here's the phone. And let's see what Scott Sloan has to say. Let's call him on the phone and see. If he doesn't answer, we're going to leave him a message. Here we go, Zeke. Let's call Sloaney. See what he says. We're calling Scott Sloan right here on the very first The Dangerous Jim Show podcast. We're getting him on the phone. We'll see what he says. If he doesn't answer, I'm going to leave him an abusive message. Scott Sloan. Is this the Scott Sloan, award-winning Scott Sloan? This is it's your buddy Jim Miller. You know me, don't you? Sloaney, I was calling to congratulate you. What was that award that you won? You won something,
Am I
right?
in the radio? Am I in the?
Yeah.
Am I the 10th caller?
Yeah. You're on, and I don't want you to be nervous because I know you're not used to being on the air, but you're actually.
Is this your little podcast?
This is not. Just to be clear, it's not called my little podcast thing. It's called the Dangerous. It's the Dangerous Jim Show. So I was calling you for a couple of reasons.
I was just gonna always call it the little podcast. How are you doing?
You're actually live on my podcast, so I have to ask you some stuff. First of all, I want to congratulate you. I know you won an award of some sort, right? When'd you win? Some sort of drive drive time or something? What'd you win? Tell everybody.
The second handsomest man in radio, according to the readers of Boys Life.
I was telling Randy, you and I golf together. I noticed you have very large feet and very large hands for a short guy. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know what that says, but
I you know what that says?
I don't know. So if people out there in the audience don't know, I really this is actually Scott Sloan. Now, Sloaney,
big shoes, big gloves. Yes.
So far, I'm filming my first podcast right now. I'm on TV.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah. So I'm doing
3 minutes in and you're talking to me. So
well, I'm in farther than that. We had intro music and a lot of stuff, but I'm calling to a couple things. I need your advice as a broadcaster. So far,
okay.
The only person that's heard this podcast is Zeke back here in the booth, and you're the second person. So what? No one's.
Technically, I'm not hearing the podcast. I'm just having a conversation with it. I'm hearing half of it because I have the other half of the conversation.
I actually have zero listeners, and I realized I just scratched my nuts right here on the TV too. So it's video, it's live. I don't care.
Now, you're comfortable already. I love it.
What
happens in the studio stays in the studio.
That was Zeke. Zeke, do you know Scott Sloan? Scott Sloan, Zeke.
What's up, Zeke? How you doing, man?
What's up, Scott?
I'm good.
Sloaney, as a professional broadcaster, what kind of advice can you give me on my very first podcast?
Well, you're doing a great job so far, calling people randomly.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
That's always good. Fill time.
Yeah. Fill time. And what else?
And I will tell you a true story. Speaking of which, so I'll fill a little time for you. But it's always important to have guests on because it helps you kill time.
Guests, yeah.
Talking by yourself is very hard.
It is.
I don't think it is, but it kind of is for more than a couple minutes.
Uh-huh.
So when I first started at the small station in Toledo, Ohio, doing a talk show.
Yes.
And I was actually sports talk on in the evening. And I think in the evening, they turn the power down a little bit, like most stations do. And what happened was I had no listeners, like zero. We started with 0 listeners. And so I just started randomly calling sports bars and talking to bartenders about sports. So that my first guests were bass. But you're doing that right now. So
yeah, I'm just going to randomly call people. I'm going to, and then I'm doing this pretty early at night. And there's going to be a ton of people that regret giving me their phone number because if they don't answer, there's going to be holy hell going on their voicemail. So it's fine.
Right.
No matter what happens. I'm going to call people. And the other thing I want to just ask you about, are you nervous about me taking any of your market share?
I am very nervous. Matter of fact, we are probably having a meeting. I'm so nervous that actually I'm going to go out of town tomorrow.
You're taking another vacation day.
Hell yeah, I am.
I get no vacation. So far, also, I have no sponsors. Do you have any ideas for sponsors? So far, I got Zeke in here working for free. Any ideas?
You have one more sponsor than I do at this point. Are you kidding me?
Well, I'll tell you what. The Dangerous Gym Show will sponsor the Scott Sloan Show if you will sponsor.
And we'll sponsor you, and I'll have you on to promote your podcast.
I'm going to say one word right now, and I'm expecting Michelle to Venmo me. SloanSellsHomes.com.
There's your first sponsor.
Venmo at Dangerous Gym 13.
See, that's not how it works. You don't. This is like the beggar equivalent, GoFundMe equivalent of podcasting. You ask the money first, and then you give the commercial, and then you go, okay, now give me money. It doesn't work that way.
Now, hold on. I'm going to talk to my audience because I am on camera, and you can't see me, but I'm wearing a black T-shirt right now, and I'm on camera on 2 cameras. It's a plain black T-shirt, but what I want to tell people that are watching this, the thousands of people that are going to watch this on YouTube or wherever, you can have your name on this T-shirt. Your name can go right here on my chest if you will give me money first. I need sponsors for the show, so if you want me to wear your T-shirt, any business owner out there, I'll put it on. And this is probably going to be the best guest I ever have, so just keep that in mind that maybe no one will listen.
That's not true. Countless.
Jim, are you
like me? Are you kidding?
I am an XL. Zeke asked if I'm an XL or 2X. I'm an XL.
All right. I love that.
So if you want to sponsor me, you can put your name on the shirt if you're watching out there in podcast land. Now,
what is the most vile thing I can get sponsorship? Like I will literally. I'm in Walgreens right now, of all places, and I'm going to find, an antacid, a laxative sponsorship, Dulcolax or something.
There's all kinds of. This is supposed to be a family show. My wife told me to keep it a family show. So, give me one more piece of advice.
What kind of person is going to let their kid listen to you?
Give me one more piece of real, serious radio advice. Okay. I'm new to this, so give me some advice.
All right. Well, it's not radio; it's a podcast. So
that's right.
You have. Well, no, and I think there's a significant advantage that you can talk as long as you want to or as short as you want to.
Right.
You can use words, even though you're family friendly, that normally you can't because of the FCC.
Right.
And you have absolute creative freedom. There's no overlords for you. So it literally is, you can do whatever you want and see what works. Yeah. And the best part is there's no pressure because it's not your full-time day job. So
that's right.
You can go nuts, man.
I feel like I'm going nuts right now, just calling you. I mean, I'm loose. I feel pretty good. I'm pretty sure that WLW will be out of business once this podcast hits the air. No big
No,
deal.
listen, WLW is out of business as soon as they put me on. What are you talking about?
Hey, I love you, man.
I won some major award. As I said,
What is
if
that
I'm
award?
the best. It's a bunch of radio executives that apparently have nothing better to do. Listen to stations across the country and they vote. And Bill Cunningham's on after me. And I think because he's old and close to death, that they make him number one.
Right.
And I'm fine with that. He was in radio long before I was. But being like the number 2 best at my time slot in the United States, I think that is the time that, officially it is dead for any spoken word content. If I'm the best they have to offer, turn the lights off. It's terrible.
Well, do you think Willie rises from like a vampire casket when he comes in? He's so old, he just creaks up and he just comes out of there and then comes into work. He's very pale.
He
Willie.
is his grave that is 8 feet deep and 6 feet wide of $100 bills.
Oh crap, man. Well, Sony, I appreciate a broadcasting great like you taking time for a little guy like me on my very first The Dangerous Jim Show podcast.
And that, Jim, you know what though, God bless, and that's not totally on me for not looking at my caller ID before I answer.
I'll call you. I'm going to call you every time. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate your advice.
Love you, buddy.
And, thanks for checking in. See you soon.
And I'm looking forward to hearing you develop into the colossal talent that you are.
This is my thing. I feel like this is my thing. I think this is my thing.
I think you're going to be good at it.
Thanks, man.
I really, really do. I think you guys are so awesome, buddy.
I love you. See you, man.
Bye.
See, now that's the kind of stuff we're going to do, right? What about that, Zeke? That was Scott Sloan, radio great, talking to us right here on the podcast. So empowerment, right, guys? I'm not scared to call people. And Sloaney and I are golfers. Full disclosure, we golf together. But I'm not afraid to call people on the phone and see if they'll talk to me. So, we're gonna do some of that kind of stuff on this. It's gonna be chill, but there's also a lot of people that won't take my call. Zeke, can you believe that?
Surprisingly, yes.
Yeah. So there's hardly anyone calls me back. Even my studio partner Nick Dream. If we look through my phone right now, hardly anyone returns my calls, and everyone wants me to text them. Billy Carey's the same way. So music stuff I told you about. The other thing that we're going to talk about here, and this is a pretty serious topic, is that I'm a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. Now, if you know me, you already know that, and if you're watching this podcast, you've probably seen me when I was out partying. I mean, there's no question. I had a lot of fun out there, but I had to quit. I declared myself an alcoholic and a drug addict, and I sought help. So I am in recovery. So the other thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is recovery. And I can tell you that I never could have made it here to this studio with all this stuff without being sober. I got 4 DUIs. I got a drug possession charge. I've been in jail, many times. And somehow I came through that. I'm still married. My kids still love me. I still have great relationships with all my kids. So I'm going to explain the 12 steps to you. I'm going to go right down them, and I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to explain the 12 steps to you. And if you're, maybe you'll like that episode, maybe you won't. But I owe it to myself, and I owe it to my God to at least tell you about my recovery and tell you how I'm here. Somehow I'm here, man. And that's an absolute miracle, don't you think, Zeke?
100%.
It's a miracle. So I would be remiss if I didn't mention that in every single podcast, that God has saved my life and kept me sober, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And we also talked about, this is a bucket list thing for me. Podcasting is getting a sleeve of tattoos. It's a bucket list for me. I always wanted to do it. I'm 60 years old, and so I decided to get going on some of the other things in my life that I wanted to do. I also want to be in a play, but right now I'm working on the podcasting. So, my goal is to just try to help the local musicians out there, and talk about other aspects of my life that I think are important. And as once again, we're winging this. So, and then finally, not finally, but there's other things that I've done. When I got sober, I weighed 270 pounds when I got sober. Right now,
that is a big boy.
I know. If someone's watching right now, it's not really a.
Hey, this is family friendly.
Yeah, that's right. So I know if you're looking at me now, you're like, well, he's still fat, but I'm skinnier than I used to be. And so I've spent a lot of time I hit the gym all the time. And there's a buddy of mine who he owns a place called T3 Fitness over in Fairfield that changed my life. He got me going on a pattern of exercise and nutrition that has changed my life. So, but what has happened during that time is now I've lost my mind on all the health stuff, right? So Zeke, at night, I take 4 different vitamins. I'm busy. I take 4 vitamins. I take an easy sleeping pill. I'm busy with my Caldera Lab. Caldera Lab, if you're out there, look how good my face looks. If you want to be a sponsor, Caldera Lab, look me up. It's thedangerousgymshow.com. So I take the Caldera Lab stuff. I wash my face. I put this oil on, Zeke, and I'm busy. I'm like an old woman getting ready for bed with my face cream. So I really lost my mind on some of that stuff. I'm going to bring in some of my supplements that I take. I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm also have a plan to bring in and show you some of the stuff that I've bought, like on Facebook or on the internet. Zeke, do you ever buy any like weird stuff on the internet?
All the time.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring some of those things in. Like, for example, we'll do a before and after. You ever see the Jawser Zeke?
I cannot say that I have.
It's a rubber ball. I wish we would have brought one in. But I'm going to bring it in. I want you guys to see the before and after. It's Jawser size. You put it in your mouth. You chew it. It's like a rubber dog ball, man.
Sounds like a shake weight for your mouth.
Yeah, so it's a rubber ball, and I don't know how my jawline looks, but I've been doing the Jawser size where you bite on this ball. I'll bring it in and show you guys on the next episode. You bite on this ball, and I'm telling you, it makes your jaw stronger. And I went out with my daughter to get a steak just recently. I was chewing the shit out of that steak, man. I was masticating like I've never masticated. I was chewing very, very well thanks to that Jawser size. So Jawser size, if you're out there, I do need a sponsor. So I'm going to take you through some of that stuff. And then finally, each night, I'm going to play one local song that I think you should hear. And I'm also planning a whole episode now. Somebody that knows more about podcasts might tell me that I can't play music on a podcast. That may or may not be true. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out together if you watch the next episode.
Just talk to Scott Hall. He plays music all the time.
Scott Hall? Yeah, he does. Yeah, he plays, but I never hear him play whole songs. So anyway, I'm going to just play, I'm going to have a whole show of local songs you can hear. Local songs you should hear. And, we're going to run through that, and I'm going to tell you what I like about each artist. So, this is going to be a lot about music. It's going to be a lot about health. It's going to be a lot about empowerment. Again, if you want to do this, you can do it. I mean, there's no question of that. You can come right here. We'll set up a nice little place for you. You can do that. So we're going to do a quick commercial here, and then I'm going to come back and we'll wrap up the Dangerous Gym Show, episode 1. I really appreciate you being with me. We'll be back in a second. Thank you. Hey, this is Jim. I know it seems a little bit weird when we're taking a break and you're still hearing me talk, but right now I'm going to be doing the commercials for the podcast. So the first commercial and our very first sponsor is URock Studios, man. I'm sitting right here at URock 2. We own a very, very nice rehearsal space that's right through that door that you can't see. URock 2, you come in, turn on the heat, and this time of year, you flip on the PA. There's drums back there. There's guitar amps. The PA's there. It's got everything you need as a musician to be successful. And we also own a place called URock 1. It's in the Green Hill Shopping Center. It's a little bit smaller. It's a little bit less expensive. You get your own code at the door for both places. You basically just hit the code, open the door, flip on the lights, turn on the PA, bam, wappa, lappa, boom. You are then rehearsing. So, if you're in a band or someone in a band, or even more so, if you're a parent and you got your kids practicing in the basement, bring them over here to URock 2 or URock 1. We are here to take care of all your needs. And don't forget, you can do all your podcasting right here at URock 2. URock 1, URock 2, URock podcasting. We're there for all the stuff. Come use our rehearsal spaces, practice, get better. All right, well, we're done with commercials. I thank you for checking in on the first show. I know today's show is a little bit short, but I just wanted to let you know that we're out here. And with my buddy Zeke and my partner Nick Dream here at URock 2 Studios, we're going to deliver to you. We won't count this episode. We're going to deliver 12 episodes to you this year, 1 per month. This one will probably be out in a couple weeks. And then don't forget the Dangerous Gym Awards show at the end of the year. A couple things, if you're still with us, then I want you to do. Another segment that we're going to be doing here is going to be called Ask Dangerous Gym. You can ask me any question about anything in your life, anything you want. And all you have to do is send an email to askdangerousgym@gmail.com. Askdangerousgym@gmail.com. And if you want me to keep your name out of it, I will. Any problem that you have, remember, I've lived 60 years. I've been rich and I've been poor, and rich is better, definitely better. So I've been high on drugs. I've been sober, so I've had a lot of experiences. I've traveled all over America playing music. I travel for my job. I sell packaging supplies. So if you have any type of question, mostly the advice that I give my kids is the things that I didn't do, not things that I did, because mostly I didn't. I made all the mistakes you could possibly make in my life. So if you have a question, send me an email to askdangerousjim@gmail.com. askdangerousjim@gmail.com. I want to thank you for tuning in to the first episode. This is my favorite band that I like right now. They're called Flying Underground. This is a song called Cameo. Local band. Check it out.